If you guys are looking for any cheap and reliable coins, check out MMOPO.com. Use the code PINGU at checkout to get 8% off. Guys, welcome to episode number 8 of the Cadiz career mode, and to start off this episode we do have the game against Atletico Madrid. We did beat them in the last episode by 4-3, so in terms of like the confidence for this game is quite high, but it is an away game, so it is going to be slightly more difficult. But we do have a pirate in the team now, so quite a big improvement. But yeah, we don't have the most amount of money to potentially sign players to end off this transfer window. If you look, we've got 12k. It's going to be very difficult unless we sell somebody. We've got about 16k realistically if we were only loaning. But I don't know what we could actually loan. I've not really checked. I don't know if we could get like a Turkey on loan. Fortunately not. Don't really want him at 60 rated. Don't really need a CDM. I don't know if we could get... Ooh, is this a little bit of a cheat? They signed him at the start of the career mode, but now we can potentially sign Tyrese Campbell on loan. So we'll go for a basic loan. Ideally I want till the end of the season, but I guess we'll go for 1 year, unless they change it to, just a short. It's all up to the player though if he wants to join the club, but he was suggested at the start of the career mode, so I think it'll be a really, really good one to do. If we can get them to pay most of the wages, then great. If we can get them 60-40 split, then we're only paying $9 a week, and there we go. So we are about to play Atletico Madrid, and I think he'd be a brilliant player. Nice backup striker at 21, can play out wide as well. Really good potential. So I think it'd be a really, really solid signing. So yeah, let's go into the game now against Atletico Madrid. Might be potentially coming up against him. They have put João Felix in though. But because we did just play that game, unfortunately, a lot of our players don't exactly have the best stamina in the world. So I think we're going to have to make a few changes due to fitness, which is a little bit frustrating, but at the same time it's not a massive downgrade. I think I'll keep Pepe in on 73 fitness, and then we can always bring in Ep8 towards the end. Here we are then for the game against Atletico Madrid at home for them, so it is going to be a bit tougher than the previous game that we did play against them. They've got Oblak in goal, Renan Lodi and Felipe, then Savic and Kieran Trippier, Correa on the right, then Saul Koke, Vitolo, Diego Costa and João Felix up front. It's a much stronger team than the previous game, and we've had to make a few changes due to fitness at right back, but we have got a par in at centre back, so I think it's pretty balanced in terms of the changes that we have made. But it is in the rain, which is also, I don't know why, but it just makes things more sluggish in terms of movement and the ball speed. But it's like an extra bit of difficulty compared to the regular difficulty that we do play on. Chance here for Madrid. Nearly gets through, but Fernandez just about does enough. Camped on the edge here. Felix with the shot, and there's nothing in the world I can do about that. I literally could not stop that if I even tried. Well, I did try to stop it, and it just couldn't do anything. As you can see, first time shot, literally nothing I could do. And João Felix, obviously, very, very good player on career mode, goes up to like 95 potential. And yeah, they do make it 1-0 there in the first 20 minutes. It's going to be a completely different game to the previous one because of the weather and the fact that it is an away game. Chance here for Lasagna. Really big gap in this Madrid defence, and I don't know why. And we have made it 1-0, 1-1 there with the big Italian to get us level. And I don't know what they're doing. Like Atletico Madrid are one of the best defensive teams in the world, and on the game, just shocking. Just like where's the centre back? Yeah, we just run through with Lasagna to get his 9th goal of the season. I think we've done some really good bargain buys on this career mode. Like Lasagna, Xhaka and Apara, all for I want to say about 10 or 11 million, maybe 12, which for 3 really good first team players, I think can't really complain with that. Same with Pepe. For a season we paid about 4 million for Pepe, I'm pretty sure. So all in all, we've spent about 20 million on all the signings, maybe just under 20 and definitely improve the team sevenfold. Ball out here to Sanchez. Can he make it 2-1? What a goal! What a goal! He hasn't played too much because I've been putting Goodmanson in, but he's a really good player as well, Sanchez. Obviously, just with that bit of pace, usually bring him off the bench if we do need him. And yeah, like, they went into the lead, but as soon as they did, they kind of switched off, and we've managed to attack twice now and score 2 goals to make it 2-1. Okay, with the ball into Diego Costa. Does get it into the near post. When they're like moving it around like that, ball rolling and dragging back and all that stuff, it's really, really difficult to, you know, I could have maybe slid in and potentially given away a penalty, but could have won the ball. But they do make it 2-2, so it makes the game interesting, and that's what I want. Chance here for Vitolo in the box, makes it 3-2, and it is pretty end-to-end game at the minute. They do get into the lead there, but I don't know if Opara, because of his match sharpness not being at 100% yet, you can definitely tell when a player isn't. I don't know what that pass is there, but you can definitely tell when a player isn't match sharp. Basically, it's really quite obvious. Felix with the ball here. Now into Koke, and I don't know. It's weird. It's honestly weird. They went 1-0 up. We scored a couple of goals. And then all of a sudden they almost switched back on, and they've scored 2 goals in like 2 minutes there and got into the lead, and literally out of nowhere, you know, got himself into a comfortable position. So it's crazy how quick this game's moved, and yeah, we're only at half time and it's 6 goals already. Chancer in the box, it goes to, oh, that's a great clearance. Don't know how he's got that ball there. I think it's the right back that hasn't played too much as well, which is also a factor why we're quite leaky at the back, you know, just having to put these players in that don't have match sharpness, but they have just... What can I do about that? How do I stop that from... Is that Campbell? They just subbed on Tyrese Campbell to score against us just before he's potentially going to come on loan again. Ooh. It is 5-2 now, but, you know, if he can do that for us, then great. You know, I don't mind the backup strikers that we currently have at the club, but I think, you know, Tyrese Campbell would obviously definitely improve us. But, you know, with about 30 minutes to go now, 3 goals to score. Chance here for Koke, goes past Opara, and does make it 6-2. Kind of sucks to be us in this game. And, yeah, the difference between home and away games is pretty much night and day. Against the top teams, you know, away from home, I've always found it very difficult, and I kind of wish they made it this difficult, even in the home games for us against the top teams, because then it'd make career mode pretty much perfect. Kind of wish there was a way of kind of switching that on, but yeah, I think because of the fitness, because of playing the Copa del Rey a couple of days before this, bringing in, you know, a right back with no match sharpness and a par on like 50 match sharpness, really did cost us. We got a couple of goals, but all in all, Madrid did dominate and got the 3 points. So we've got this message here from Campbell saying he's joined Atletico Madrid instead of joined us, but he's already at Atletico Madrid. So I don't know if it's because he signed at the start of the season, and I'm assuming that's probably why. So we're not going to be able to get him, unfortunately, so we'll move on to the next target. I guess we'll try one of these like Olsen's or Nunnally's, maybe Shackleton. There we go, we got Shackleton, so wouldn't mind him, you know, decent backup midfielder. Wouldn't cost us too much in terms of wages. I don't know if Bielsa's actually had his scanned yet. We'll go for the short-term loan. No, it's not Bielsa. Yeah, if we can get them to pay 60% of it, 50-50, on 45-55. There we go, boom. And yeah, it's slightly more likely that he will accept that, but we will have a try for a couple of other players. Maybe oh, can we get Chowdhury? No, he's on way too much wages. Dennis Mann, nope. Sometimes you can get older players as well on loan. So I don't know if we could get like Milner, but I don't think we can because of his wages. Into the next game then against Leganes, I think we will simulate it. I don't know if that's Borja Baston, the striker, but all in all they don't have the best team in the world, so I assume we'll win this if we simulate. And then that way we can just play the Atletico Bilbao to finish off the January transfer window. I don't know, is it Borja? It must be Borja Baston. I didn't realise that he moved back to Spain. I know Villa signed him on a... He was at Swansea, doing really well, went to Villa. I don't think he played a single game all season, got released, and now he's back in Spain. It's really odd, you know, that play... I don't know. Potential chance that they will get promoted this season, of course, though, as they do have a decent team for the second division, but I think as long as we do win this game, I'm more than happy, and I guess we could always jump into the game if it is still 0-0 with about 10 minutes to go. We have got Pombo and Lozano up front for this cup game. Obviously just give them a try and see how they do. There we go, we do make it 1-0 there, Pombo with the goal, and yeah, just by simulating these games that I'm not, you know, if I played this game like we did the last game, you know, I got the 3 goals in like 30 minutes and then just simulated the rest of the game and quite convincingly won it. And yeah, we're just basically doing it the other way round, and if anything does go wrong we can jump in. Oh, they do make it 1-1 there, Borja Baston with the goal to make it 1-1. Literally I think I know their right back as well, and Dennis, is it Dennis Amoro? The Nigerian centre-back used to play for Chelsea. But other than that, I don't really know too many. There's literally 3 players I know from their team. Don't know if they've got anyone on the bench. Don't think so. There we go. Lozano does make it 2-1. As long as, you know, as long as we're not losing the game, then I'll just let the simulation play out. But if we do go into a losing position, well, I guess if we go level with about 10 minutes to go, I will jump in just to make sure we don't concede that goal. But chance here to make it 3-1, and there we go. We do wrap up the game with a goal from Fernandez, and yeah, we have made a few changes, I think. Yeah, we've done all the changes, so hopefully rest up a few players for the next game since we are playing Bilbao. And yeah, it just basically gets us to the end of the season much faster by simulating these games. And it just, you know, if I played this game, we were going to win it. They have made it 3-2 with 5 minutes to go. Hopefully, haven't jinxed it. And hopefully they don't score in the 90th minute here. But yeah, just by simulating these games, please don't score. Oh my! Looks like I need to jump in, lads. Why? We were 3-2. We were 3-1 up with literally seconds left, and now I've got to jump in, and I think it goes to extra time, but it might go to a replay. I don't know if we could score in literally our first attack. Please, oh, is it extra time? It's extra time. Maybe what I should have done is gone into the game, got the 3 goals like we did in the previous one, and then simulated the remainder. I don't know what those dots are in the top right. I don't know why they're there. Yeah, I guess we just have to play extra time now, which I kind of didn't want to do. I don't know if we have an extra substitution as well. And my strikers seem much better now that we do have a bit of match sharpness to them. Lozano does run into the box but can't quite pull it back. Goodmanson can't deliver, but I'm just going to quickly check. Can we sub on like a lasagna? A couple of fresh subs on for Leganes. They do get the shot, but a great block from Ep8 out of nowhere to prevent the goal. And potential chance to counter-attack here if we can play it correctly. Got the ball out here to Gyro. Can he run through and score the goal to make it 4-3? Yes, he can. Lovely goal from the only 69 rated, and with very minimal time left, because we're playing on 4-minute halves, it's essentially one attack for Leganes if they do get it. And yeah, it's a little bit frustrating that I had to jump into the game, but I guess it makes it a little bit of fun. It's kind of weird that they did concede 2 goals in the last 6 minutes of the game, but it does happen in real life. So I thought they were going to score then. Oh no, I didn't want to slide there. I wanted to clear the ball. I don't know where the computer get this time from. I'd love to know where the game just goes, or I'll just play an extra 3 minutes on top of the 1 minute that was added. Is that full time? Finally. About 4 minutes after the 1 minute added on, the referee does finally blow the whistle, and yeah, obviously the only goal is for us from Gyro, since they don't put the highlights from the goals that the simulation does. But yeah, we go through to the next round. That's the main factor. It'd be interesting to see what we do play in the next round, which is the quarterfinals. So you know, we're only 3 wins away. And as you can see, we have actually loaned Jamie Shackleton in, so it's a nice alternative if we want to have, you know, the 2 pacey midfielders. You know, he can also play right back, which I might actually do, you know, because my current right back's not that great, but then again, he's only got 60 defending, so probably not. But I guess we can put him on the bench for somebody. So we do have the game against Bilbao now, and then we do have Atletico Madrid in. Why is it so compact? Like, why do they play literally a week after each other? Like the FA Cup, you'd play one game a month pretty much until the end of the season, but this seems like it's kind of a bit annoying because I've only got 2 days of rest after the Bilbao game against Madrid at home, who we did beat at home, but away we got absolutely smashed, so literally no idea what the result will be in that game. But yeah, we'll save that game for the next episode, so we'll finish off the January transfer window in this one. I don't think we'll really be able to do anything because we only have about 10,000 now. Yeah, 10k wages. I don't know if we could loan in somebody else on the shortlist, but other than that, I doubt very much we'll be able to do anything. Imagine if we could get someone like him. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have to just stick with the squad that we have got until the end of the season, unless we can get like a Lulic. No, he's on a pre-contract. So yeah, let's go into the game against Athletic Bilbao, and yeah, we're currently 15th in the table, and I think about, what are we, 6 points off the relegation zone, which is, you know, where kind of want us, maybe 1 win less, which we might lose anyway against Bilbao next. And we have got a bit of a tough run actually. You know, we just played Atletico Madrid, now we've got Bilbao, Sevilla, Villarreal, Valencia, so I don't really see us getting a win until pretty much the end of February, but you never know. You know, I think March is really, really easy. Like there's 12 points basically, and even April is pretty easy. Maybe Betis and Sociedad might be a bit of a challenge, but yeah, we do finish off the season with Real Madrid, Barcelona, Levante, and I think that's Huesca, or maybe another team. But yeah, it's one of those where, I don't know, maybe the Bundesliga is a tougher division now that I have played the La Liga. There's a lot of, you know, there's good teams, but then there's also really, really bad teams. Like the bad teams are really bad and the good teams are just unbelievable. There's not really like a middle ground, so we will put a Parrot in for this game. Also put Fernandez. I could actually try Shackleton. No, he doesn't have the match sharpness, so we'll leave it there for the time being. I guess we can put Shackleton on the bench. Here we are then for the final game of the episode against Athletic Bilbao. A potential team that we might do the new career mode on. I'm not 100% sure what we will do. But I think the video might be out by the time this one goes live. I'm not too sure how I'm going to work it, to be frankly honest. I don't know if I want to finish this one first, then move on to the next one, or just release the first episode. Then that way we can get some responses on what signings to make. So looking at the team, which might be the next career mode, they do play Heron in goal. Bartra signing from Betis. I'm not too sure if he's Basque. Digene's definitely not Basque. Yuri Briche, DeMarcos, Lopez, Miquel and Zaraga. Then they've got Munain, Gomez and Garcia to finish the lineup. So it's a pretty good team. I think they did beat us last time, but since we are home for this game, I'm hoping we get a bit of a better result and potentially get a draw. Chance here in the box. It does make it 1-0 in the first 10 minutes for the number 10 Ika Munain. Very, very good player indeed. And yeah, like I don't know what I've done wrong there really. The keeper should be saying that in the near post. And yeah, it makes the game much, much harder now that they have got the first goal of the game. And yeah, you know, I'm kind of happy where we are in the table at the minute. I think we're exactly where we should be. And you know, I've quite enjoyed doing this Cadiz career mode. It's one of those where only doing one season, it does mean you kind of have to speed things up quite quickly and maybe not look for the future and just sign players for this season. And I quite like that. I quite like the speed of this one. Whereas in the Derby career mode, you know, we signed like a Liam Delap and a few other players that we managed to grow by, you know, 15, 20 ratings. Whereas in this career mode, you know, I've literally had no time at all. I've had to sign over 30-year-olds to ensure we've got the quality to keep up with these very, very good teams. Xhaka with the ball out wide here to Sanchez. Hopefully he can get on the end of it. He does. Now into Fernandez. Cross to Xhaka. Slips it into the box to Alejo, and that is a really, really nice work goal in the 30th minute to level it up for Alejo. A player that I might be tempted to take to the next career mode. You know, I've quite liked a couple of these players in this team. You know, Lasagna and Alejo have definitely been some of the better, more attacking players that we've got, and yeah, they're not too old where they're going to decline in stats like Negredo and Pepe and Hasebe have done, of course, but it's a nice squad that I've put together. You know, in such a short period of time with such a, you know, we essentially started with 2 million transfer budget. I don't know how did I get some of these players? Like, I must have sold quite a bit as well to get all of what I've done in such a short time. Ball goes deep. Maybe shouldn't have brought the keeper because majority of the corners you never see them score, but when they do things like that where they pull it really far back to the edge of the area, as you can see, I brought the keeper to the 6-yard line, didn't realise how far the ball went, and yeah, they've just headed it over him with Mark Bartra to make it his 4th goal of the season. He scored quite a few goals then. Chance here through the middle for Minain with the shot and with the goal. They do make it 2-1. 3-1, sorry. Didn't realise that they were 2-1 up. Thought it was 1-1, but yeah, like, as you can see, Pepe got dragged out. Great run through the middle, and not exactly much I could do about that, to be frankly honest. I don't know whether... When did they score? Oh yeah, Bartra at half-time, that was it, the header. Yeah, it's obviously Atletico Bilbao. I need to stop saying Atletico Bilbao, because it's not correct. It's Athletic Bilbao, and yeah, they're definitely a team with the Basque-only career mode. It's something I would be quite tempted to try, just to see how it goes. I don't know if... the only thing about it is obviously limiting your signings to, you know, 10 or 11 players. It means you might need to put loose transfer negotiations on, because if you keep it on strict, then, you know, the only few players that you can sign might not want to sign anyway because of the strict transfer options. Chance here through for Lasagna. Can he get past Bartra with his pace? Yes, he can. Can he get the finish, though? There we go, into the back of the net. We've got about 20 minutes to go. Can we potentially rescue a point against Bilbao? And it's one of those games that were pretty evenly balanced, and I do quite like that about Bilbao. It's quite a competitive game, and literally there's no idea of who's going to win. 10 minutes to go here now. If we're going to rescue a point in this game, we do need to potentially get something from this attack. It's gone into Sanchez's path. Can he get the shot off? Yes, he can, but keeper does save it, and it isn't Simon for today's game. It's Heron. I think they've got two decent goalkeepers, to be honest. Chance here through the middle. It's gone back to Raul Garcia with the shot in the near post, and they do make it 4-2 in the final minutes, just to confirm the 3 points for them. And yeah, it's quite interesting. He used to be like a central midfielder, Raul Garcia. Now he just plays up front, and seems to be... I think he scored against us in the previous game as well. And yeah, we came close to making it level, which is nice. And it'll be interesting to see where we move in the table now with this loss. But all in all, it's not been the most worst game in the world. Like, we've not been absolutely smashed. I think we've definitely been in it. And yeah, they just managed to narrow it over the line. So as you can see, we have brought in Xhaka and Apara in this transfer window. I'm not too sure why Shackleton isn't on that list, because obviously we brought him in on loan. Yeah, we sold 3.5 million, which is quite nice. You know, mostly players that we weren't using. You know, Barcelona is spending 175 million on Milinkovic-Savic and Sula. Ogbonna there going to Getafe. Just going to see what Real Madrid have spent. Only 3.6 million on Smith Rowe. Usually they spend much, much more. But yeah, let's have a quick look and see where we are in the table. Just before we do simulate through the deadline day. And yeah, we're down in 15th, only 5 points now between us and the relegation zone. So I think we need to maybe look to, you know, in these games that we are playing, maybe just look to get the point and play quite defensive. Because I'm playing quite attacking with this 4-4-2, and maybe changing to like a 4-3-3, or you know, something with a one striker instead of the two might be what we need to do to ensure we don't concede as many goals, because we're conceding like 3 or 4 goals every game, and you know, to outscore the opposition is quite difficult. Into the final 2 hours then, literally nothing has happened. We haven't had a single message for an offer for one of our players, and yeah, we'll just finish off that final hour and wrap up the episode here. It's been quite a productive window all in all. You know, bringing in Apara and Xhaka, I think 2 brilliant players. We do, like, the second the window closes, we get an offer for a player that I don't even want to sell it anyway. But yeah, it's one of those where we've definitely improved. You know, if you start from the start of the season, we've brought in Lasagna, Xhaka, Pepe, Apara, and Goodmanson and Hasebe. So I think all in all, we've definitely increased the quality of this squad. You know, if you compare Hasebe and Apara, quite similar defensively, but in terms of physicality, like, Apara just absolutely smashes him out of the park. And as you can see, he's only got 58 sharpness, so we just need to get that up to around the 70s, and then that way he should be all good to play much more productively. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Make sure you do leave a like rating if you did enjoy. I think we'll start, now that we have left the transfer window, you know, in the next episode I'll probably play all these games in February, then we'll move on. I might just simulate the entire month of March, I'm not going to lie, because there's no game, like, Getafe are okay, but other than that, you know, if I played these games, there's 12 points there, whereas if we simulate, there's a chance that the opposition can win. So I might be tempted to, like, simulate all the way up to, like, mid-April, but I'll definitely play these 4 games, you know, Madrid, Sevilla, Valencia and Villarreal. I'm not too sure what the fitness will be like for the next game against Atleti. It's not too bad, actually, for saying we only played like 2 days ago. You know, other than Pepe, and we probably will even start Pepe. It's pretty okay. So I think all in all, we'll keep the team how it is, and yeah, go into that game and hopefully, you know, go to the next round of the Copa del Rey, and then we'll be into the semi-finals. So you know, there's not very long indeed. If we do manage to somehow beat Atletico Madrid, I know they just beat us 6-2. But if we somehow win that game, you know, we've only got 2 more games and then we potentially win a trophy, so that's quite decent, and kind of shows how good this team is that we've got to a quarter-final already. And yeah, you know, Eibar, Huesca, Getafe, Osasuna and Elche are just teams that I'll probably just simulate against, maybe even Granada, maybe even, I think we'll play Sociedad, simulate Celta, play Betis, simulate Deportivo, play those 2 games, and then, you know, these final 2 games, depending on where we are in the table, you know, by simulating these games, it's basically kept us in a really good position in the table to potentially be in a relegation battle. So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this episode. Only bringing in Shackleton on loan, but since we did sign Apara, obviously it just made it a little bit more difficult to bring anything in. But yeah, he's a nice backup player to have in the squad, and yeah, I think this squad should do okay until the end of the season. So I might be tempted to get this Messer guy in, to be honest, just try, you know, instead of Pombo maybe, just to see how he does. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this as well. Make sure you do leave a like if you did, and see you soon. Bye.